Reading body language. Selling is about connecting with the other person, and many times people communicate without ever saying a word. Hi, I'm Kevin Graham. I'm Managing Director at Empowered Sales Training. Let's talk a little bit about body language and reading body language. Keep in mind that I may have my arms folded because I'm cold, not because you're making me clam up. And many times it's not about what they're doing, but how they transition from one thing to another. Let's talk about touching the ear. This typically means they want to hear more, so continue on with what you're saying. How about fiddling with the hair? This kind of means it's beyond them and they're like, whatever. How about scratching the head? This typically means you're perplexing the individual, and you need to be careful to make sure they connect and understand with what you're saying, because the next one, rubbing the neck, literally means you're getting them hot under the collar and you're starting to annoy them. Have you ever seen the hand over the mouth? Many times people will be talking and put their hand over their mouth as if they're physically restraining themselves from saying something. And indeed, that's what's happening. They're about to say something that they're going to let slip, but they put their hand over their mouth. That many times is a good time to ask an open-ended question and get them to open up a little bit more. How about the touching of the nose? This typically means they're uncomfortable about something, or maybe even lying. You'll see talk show hosts do this all the time. As they start their new show, typically they'll do their monologue, and then at some point they'll say, "We've got a really great show for you today." Watch how many times their arm starts to go to their nose, and they stop it here consciously. That's because maybe at that night, they're not that impressed with the show. They're not sure it's going to be such a good show. How about rubbing of the hands? This typically means I'm wringing my hands. I want nothing to do with it. Sometimes it's out of guilt. It's on to another person. Blinking or any change in eye movements typically means you're talking about a topic that makes the other person very uncomfortable and perhaps lying. And the last one I'll share on this video is steepling. Steepling is when you put your fingertips together to form like a steeple. This typically means a sign of superiority, because the reality is you can't do this unless you're extremely comfortable and confident. So anytime someone's steepling with you, it typically means they feel they're in the driver's seat. I hope this lesson in reading body language is helpful to you in your sales journey. Contact us today at empoweredSalesTraining.com.